This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome. It is time to get down to business. I'm Scott Sander. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, your first step toward business ownership and success. Today, you'll meet people who've taken that first step and want to pay it forward. They tell us their stories broken up into 7 topics: how they got started in business, how they gained access to capital, how they run their business day to day. We also have regular contributors who cover the week in business and experts at managing money who talk about the accounting and bookkeeping aspects. We focus on a different industry each week, and then we wrap things up with a success story. We're here with a new show every Sunday on Wish TV and live streaming through wishtv.com. We post all of those 7 weekly segments from past shows through our website, beoshow.com. Watch them, share them, scan the QR code that's on your screen. It'll take you right there. While you're there, listen to our Business, Equity, and Opportunities podcast, part of the All Indiana Podcast Network, and subscribe to our weekly newsletter that our team updates every Tuesday. Let's get down to business. Here's what's on today's Business, Equity, and Opportunities. We get an update on activities leading to this year's Love Thy Neighborhood Awards, how Indiana rallies to attract and retain talent, Courtney Kincaid on how to protect your business against scams, how to get your DEI leadership certification straight from Indiana University, and we stop for lunch at a vegan food truck. Circle Center Mall says more than 25 small business owners will gather for a monthly small business showcase. Brainchild of Kamilah James, owner of Kemet 360 Jewelry and Accessories and Café. We talked to her at the launch of the effort aimed at mentoring small business owners and giving them promotion and networking opportunities.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Getting started.
Kemet 360 Jewelry and Accessories was created from my husband's creation of jewelry using handcrafted genuine stones and crystals. He started off making me a pair of earrings. My co-workers wanted the jewelry, so he started to make more of it. And then we decided that we wanted something that was purposeful. And the stones have healing properties and meaning. So we wanted to make sure we used something that had a purpose. And that's what we do. So when we provide the bracelet, necklace, earrings, it actually has a meaning, and we provide you the meaning of that stone so that you know what you have. Since I come to the mall in November and opened Kemet 360, I knew there was an opportunity in the mall. We discussed it when I came in as a tenant, and they told me about certain items that needed to be in the mall since we've had a shift in the leases. So I said, hey, why not bring more businesses to the mall so that they're aware of the opportunities as well as help them make money and do their business. So to partner and do that together, we are people who love to collaborate and network. And as long as we share and uplift each other, then everybody wins. I started last year with my first annual Black Excellence Convention in October, and I had 35 vendors there. In March this year was the first one I partnered with the mall, and we had 30 businesses down the hall showcase their businesses and services. So we decided to do it until the end of the year in partnership to finish the year out and do it the right way. And then especially because for vendors and business owners, there's a lot of vending opportunities in the summer, but become in the fall and the winter, it kind of dies down because the outside, it's cold now. So it's a great way to have an opportunity to come inside a place where you're safe and secure, as well as it already has traffic. That's a key. It already has traffic, so we don't have to go find the customers. It changes according to the people who book the space. So the businesses have opportunity to register. If they register, it changes whoever registers by month. I like the diversity, so I want different businesses to come in so that they can expose themselves. Not only that, we kind of give a consultation on business savvy as well as providing the space. So it's not just about making money all the time. You have to learn to network, learn how to grow your business, be a professional, legitimate business, because some of us start as a small hustle, if you will, and then it can be developed into a real official business. So it's not just about that. The networking is bigger, it makes an impact on each person individually as a business. And if they need anything else, we're there to fill the gaps and the holes because we have so many different people that have so much information. We keep sharing and passing it on. All right, so I have 7 stores, well, let me say 7 businesses located in my store on the 3rd floor, Kemet 360. Lavish Couture is the only one that has bras and panties in the mall. So I am the provider of that in the store, in the mall here, Circle Center. She's here located as well as a vendor. I also have Jewelry by Lori. She creates resin jewelry. She's in my store. And then I have Unique Creations. She has resin trays where you can put your jewelry and your gemstones or crystals, because we sell those as well. So I have a few of them here to support, and so that they have a face with the business when they come to my store and shop. And we have a little bit of everything: oils, fragrances, candles. Sea moss is a healthy thing to help you with your diet on a daily basis. And we have Jones Girl, she does purses. So everything that we have always has a meaning and purpose. Success for me in creating these spaces is that everyone goes away with something valuable for them, whether it's to help them scale their business, whether it's an opportunity to meet with someone who can give them something that they needed, help them get their LLC, whatever, as long as everyone has gained something, and that's the biggest thing. Networking is key, and collaborating and coming together, because once you meet each other, once you know one person, you start to share. Ironically enough, I have Queen, a Piece Essential. She has candles. She just sold her something, who sells the sea moss, last week at another event. She gave a testimony for her product in front of everyone. That is how this works when you collaborate together and bring people together. I didn't know they knew each other, so it's bigger than just let's make some money.
Getting started, made possible by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation.
Small business showcases are held the last Saturday of each month, scheduled through the end of the year. If you'd like more information, we have links on our website. It's beoshow.com. Follow the QR code that's on your screen. It'll get you right there. If you have information that has helped you launch or operate a small business, tell us how you're doing. We'd love to share your story. The email is beo@wishtv.com. Coming up, a preview of the Love Thy Neighborhood Awards. Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities, when we talk accessing capital. The Local Initiative Support Corporation, or LISC, is part of a national organization that helps resident-led, community-based development organizations turn distressed communities and neighborhoods into ones that are healthy and proud. Successes qualify for a Love Thy Neighborhood Award.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Access to capital.
Dr. David Hampton leads the LISC Indianapolis program.
We're so excited about our Love Thy Neighborhood Awards this year. As always, we like to highlight businesses and organizations who are really on the ground doing the good work, who often don't get recognized. So this is just an opportunity for LISC to recognize them, as well as to garner support from the community, and hopefully to gain interest from other businesses who are interested in partnering with us. We had a good number of applicants. We're very excited to engage our awards this year. Megan Bulla does a great job leading that effort, and so we're excited to see who rises to the top yet again. LISC really operates as an intermediary, which means we don't actually do any of the services that our business partners do, but we support them through technical assistance. We try to build capacity, and we really partner on the ground where they are, and so we act really as a partner. We have a real estate assistance fund, we have facade grants, and through creative placemaking, we really strategically partner with businesses to really develop underdeveloped neighborhoods, to help the economic resilience of businesses, which really raises the level of our community. And so when we see that type of growth, it helps us to take a step back, and we're humbled by the impacts that we're able to make when we help businesses who are perhaps struggling or looking for opportunities, whether it's access to capital, whether it's just a nudge in the right direction. LISC is there to help. Since May, we really established the first ever Latino Business Support Network. I talked about that a little bit at the Mayor's Latin Expo breakfast, and really credit our program officer, Claudia Mendez Perkins, who leads that effort. But it's the first of its kind. It's the only Latino business support network in the state. And we've really been, humbled and excited about the support and the partnerships that have come alongside us to help not only fund, but also to lend support services to those Latino businesses. So LISC is one of the largest CDFIs in the country. We are a community development financial institution. Indianapolis is one of 38 local offices, and we do our work locally. And one of our national initiatives is called Project 10X, but it is our sort of racial equity overall mission. One of our mantras is that your zip code should really not determine your quality of life. And we work in the zip codes that are of most need, most of the underserved areas that need to be lifted. That's exactly what we go in and do. We set about the mission of uplifting neighborhoods, which really helps the entire community. Since we've come through COVID, I think businesses are bouncing back. We still face some of the challenges of rising interest rates, and I think materials are still sort of high in cost. So LISC operates as sort of that buffer to help fill in the gaps. We do so much around whether it's granting or lending funds to small businesses and organizations. And we really want to get the word out that LISC is here. We've been in the community for 30 years in Indianapolis. We want to be of a help. We want to be of assistance, and we want to partner with you. So find us, seek us.
If you'd like to learn more about the Love Thy Neighborhood Awards or LISC Indianapolis and the work that it does, you'll find links on our website, beoshow.com. You've heard me say it before. Scan the QR code that's up on your screen right now, and it'll take you right there. Please do join us on Wish TV for a special one-hour broadcast of the Love Thy Neighborhood Awards, September 9th, 5 p.m. You'll meet all the finalists, find out the winners, and learn how you can help select this year's People's Choice. Later this hour, how to protect your business from scams. First, though, a look at the Rally Innovation Conference and more of the Week in Business.
Grow your business with Wish TV's featured business directory. For less than $200 a month, be one of the limited businesses in 30 different categories, benefiting from one of the top visited websites in Indiana and Indiana's only statewide news station. Space is limited. Contact us today.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. Time to look at This Week in Business. Organizers bill Rally as the largest global cross-sector innovation conference. Starts this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the Indiana Convention Center. The goal is to bring people from different areas and industries together for what the conference is calling creative collisions. The goal also leads to a bigger goal, to attract talent to Indiana and keep it here.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. This Week in Business.
Christopher Day is the CEO of Elevate Ventures, connecting entrepreneurs with people who know Indiana's business landscape and know how to maximize opportunities.
My background, so I grew up on a small farm in Indiana, always wanted to go out and see what the world was like. And I didn't mean to, but kind of became a serial entrepreneur by accident, just super curious. Would listen to people that would talk about pain points or problems. Always wanted to start my own business. So I've been blessed to have been a part of starting 8 businesses in 7 verticals over the last 27-ish plus or minus years. One of those was an investment banking firm as well. And that's all culminated in today to being tapped to be the CEO of Elevate Ventures, which is just an amazing opportunity. Talent acquisition, talent retention is a major topic, and not just in Indianapolis or Indiana or South Bend, Elkhart, Fort Wayne, Evansville, Bloomington, wherever it is. It's an issue in Silicon Valley, it's an issue in Austin, it's an issue in all markets. And so what I'm really excited about, I see several things happening where people want to get much more intentional about talent acquisition and talent retention. But there's companies like Make My Move that are working with towns like Noblesville, where they're actually paying people $5,000 to move to their town from California, from wherever, Illinois, New York, whatever state it is or town it is, actually proactively recruiting talent. And whatever the town's unique culture is, they promote that, is one thing that we see happening. Another is when we have all these bright-eyed and bushy-tailed youngsters come into our colleges, our universities, tens and tens of thousands every single year. And there's a more direct outreach to share with those students, especially the ones that come from out of state, but even the ones in state don't realize all of the innovation ecosystem that we have here, all of the opportunities, our Fortune 500 companies, the tech ecosystem, the life sciences ecosystem, et cetera. And so sharing the stories with those students when they come on campus to let them know, hey, within a 200-mile radius, here's all of these opportunities that exist. So it's great to teach them the college cheer, the college chant, and there's the mess hall, and here's the university bookstore where you can buy your swag. But let's also start talking to those students about the internship opportunities. Another one is Rally. We've launched Rally, and when I say we, I mean people throughout the state. So Elevate, we just try to be the convener, right? And bringing different groups together, Purdue, IU, Agrinovus, CICP, Butler, High Alpha, literally like 100 different groups and companies involved. But we need to tell our story here in Indiana. And I personally believe that we have all the ingredients to be the innovation capital of the world. The world just doesn't know the assets that we have. And the examples of those assets would be infrastructure, talent, mission critical industry, technology, lifestyle, cost of living, regulatory environment. 7 key or core ingredients that it takes to be the innovation capital of the world. We have more number 1 and top 5, top 10 rankings in all those categories collectively than any state I can find. The world just doesn't know it because we don't talk about it. There's kind of that Hoosier humbleness. Those are just several examples of how we can attract more talent, more companies that want to start here, more companies that want to expand here, more students that stay here. And by the way, I think it's great that there are students that leave and go to other markets, other cultures. They have other experiences, learning, et cetera. And when it's time to start a family, a lot of them want to come back, right? Because of the lifestyle, because of cost of living. And you can always jump on a plane and be on a beach or in the mountains in a couple hours. I'm trying to remember the exact percentage. I think it's roughly 64% of all, it's either 64 or like right at 70% of all new job creation happens with small businesses and new businesses that start. That is the lifeblood. We work closely with the IEDC, for example. They're always constantly recruiting businesses from other states, from other countries to come here. And the reason they come here is because the cost of doing business is much lower compared to other economies. And that's a real advantage for us. So the cost of running their business, coupled with the lifestyle, coupled with the talent, like we graduate the second highest number of undergraduate engineers regionally in the country, only behind the Research Triangle. We have some of the greatest talent on earth, right? With Purdue, Rose-Hulman, IU, Marion, what they're doing to pull all the private universities together and really hyper-focused on talent acquisition, talent retention, and being intentional about helping those students either think about entrepreneurship or how to join an innovative company or an entrepreneurial company or start their own. These are the very specific, tangible projects that are happening right now around the state that they're going to make a big difference. So our average wage is still below that of the national average. And these types of businesses that we're forming, not only do they create great jobs for people, but if someone's thinking about moving here from another state or another city, if you look 10, even probably 10 years ago, for sure 20 years ago, if I was going to make that move, what if that doesn't work out, right? How many companies are there in a similar sector where I could also land another job if I needed to? And that didn't probably exist, I would say 20, 25 years ago, that was pretty limited. Today, that's not the case. There are many opportunities of great companies. So if we want to go attract 50, 100, and 1 million more jobs in Indiana, which those are the numbers being thrown around, then we have to have that environment where that failure's okay, which I think today we as a state accept failure. It kind of used to be 20, 30 years ago, if you start a company and failed, it's like, oh, what's wrong with that person, right? Well, there's lots of failures, right? And if you're going to win, you're going to fail at some point, right? You're going to struggle. It's absolutely critical that we have more new business starts and we start to fill, I also talk about capital consolidation, capital density. We're looking at ways to fill that funding continuum past Series A so that we have more medium stage or middle stage companies, right? More Series B companies. These are companies that are doing anywhere between $10 and $100 million. That's an opportunity for us to focus more energy on. And those are companies that are now employing, 100 to 500 people. And so I think it's a real opportunity for us to help reduce what I like to call the early exit syndrome. because we don't have density of capital, and help some of our companies become the acquirers versus the acquiree. And I think that will really help juice job creation.
This Week in Business is made possible by InnoPower.
The Rally Innovation Conference is at the Indiana Convention Center from Wednesday through Thursday. We have links at BEOshow.com. Also happening this week in business, the Veteran Business Outreach Center is teaming up with the Entrepreneur's Source on a webinar about the benefits of owning a franchise. Goes live Thursday morning from 10 to 11:30. As always, to learn more about the week's events, we have links on our website, BEOshow.com. And if your business has an event you'd like us to mention on our show, send us an email. Give us 3 weeks lead time, BEO@wishtv.com. Coming up, the Skinny on a DEI Leadership Certification Program at IU. Before that, though, Courtney Kincaid on some common scams and how you can protect your business. This is Business Equity and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. When you hang your shingle, the hope is to attract customers. Too often, though, we've seen it attract people who have their sights set on your profits. How to protect your business from a scam? One of our experts in accounting and bookkeeping, Courtney Kincaid from the Indiana CPA Society, has some thoughts.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities, accounting and bookkeeping.
Small businesses and startups are often targets for scams, just general scams, because they really don't have sophisticated cybersecurity or necessarily sophisticated internal controls processes, and scammers know that. So they target these people. There's really great tools that you can use, whether that's your CPA to help you create internal controls, or software vendors that have some simple accounts payable. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about some things that you should be aware of as a small business. When it comes to scams, and a lot of them come through email because it's just the easiest way to get a hold of you, right? And a lot of times they spoof an email address, right? We put a lot of our information out there for the whole world to see. And so there are very simple ways of knowing who your colleagues are, very simple ways of potentially knowing who your clients are or who your vendors are. So my first tip is to look at an email address. Often you'll see the beginning looks the same as your real address, but after the @ will be completely crazy, or sometimes close, but not quite what it should be. So that's kind of your first tool and hint. You get something suspicious, you want to look at that very closely. Second is, making sure that whatever the request is, and usually it's a payment being requested, is it from someone that you actually do business with? As these small businesses grow and you get more people on your staff, it can sometimes be hard to remember all of the vendors or even all of the clients that you work with. So developing good internal controls is a really, really great way to make sure that you are paying invoices that are legitimate. I myself have received an invoice, and they're usually small amounts because they're not trying to raise a red flag. But if they can get several people to give them small amounts, it adds up to a lot, right? So working with your CPA or a software vendor, an accounting software vendor, to come up with those accounts payable internal controls are really, really beneficial. In addition, those internal controls can also help you with internal fraud as your company or organization grows. Making sure that you have a segregation of duties so that one person is not in charge of receiving, approving, and then writing that check, right? Very important. Not something that everyone always necessarily thinks of, and you do want to, trust everyone, but very, very, very important. They'll also help you with kind of two-way or three-way verification. So you get the invoice, it is a legitimate invoice, a vendor or a client you work with. Have you already paid that invoice? Making sure you're not doing duplicate payments. Making sure some of your payments aren't falling behind and that you're paying extra for late fees or processing fees. These are just really important things that those processes can help you with. Another really great tip, and something that I could get better at, honestly, is instead of replying to unsolicited emails, kind of forwarding those emails, right? Even if it's someone that you work with often, if they send you something suspicious, forward that email and type in the response versus just hitting reply. Going back to that spoofing, that way you kind of cut that person out, and then you're really talking to the client or the customer who might say, I didn't send you this. And so it's really great way to, catch that scam, but it's also a really great way to make sure that that person is aware of that someone is using their identity. To make sure that you're protected against these scams, there's really two bits of advice that I would give to a small business owner. And one is to invest in some good email security. Two-factor authentication is really great. Making sure that you do actually have spam filters. It's great to sign up for free email, but sometimes the protection is not as high as if you would make a small investment in a different service. And then also, as always, working with your CPA to help you create those internal control processes that we discussed to help you with scams, but also help you make sure that you are protected against other fraud as your company grows.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Every day we deal with people that have, they worked for major corporations, right? 30, 40 years, and they get to a point in life where they just don't want to really retire. They don't know what to do, but they know they want to do something. They know they don't want to greet at Walmart, and they know that they have the financial freedom to pick and choose what they want to do, but they, travel how long, right? How much time can you spend at Disney with the grandkids? And when they check those things out, or check those things off, if you will, a lot of times they come in and they ask, they say, well, there's certain things that I'm really passionate about, right? Maybe I want to, I really love gardening, and so should I open up a nursery, right? And so when we look at that, we look at, how do we intend to fund it? And so I think it becomes a big tax question and analysis, because those dollars and cents have to come from somewhere. Now, the most money, if you will, assets that, wealthy or non-wealthy people have saved, whether you've worked at a company 10 years or whether you've worked at a company for 30 years, when you are tax deferring those dollars, they build over time, they compound. And so generally what people think is they can reach into that bucket of money, if you would, this tax deferred asset, take the money out, pay some taxes on it, start a business, and off to the sunset they go. Well, I wish it was that easy, right? Because a lot of times what we look for from a tax efficiency standpoint is we want adjusted gross income to actually go down so we can make the other side of their life more tax efficient, because there'll be a time when they mature that they have to take more taxes out. And so I think that when they understand the hobby that they want in their life and the cost behind it, not just the money they've accumulated, but what the risk truly could be over time, that's the discussion I really want to have. Can they do it? Can they not do it? Do they want to do it? Well, people are going to do what they want, but I think at least giving proper advice on all sides of it. Then it goes into legacy planning and succession planning. How long do they intend to do that into the board, right? And so I think that laying out that full, start here. Here's how you do it. Here's your goals. Here's your ambition, if you will, your desire. Here's how we can do it. Are you comfortable with that? And if we launch, then we hold their hand all the way through that. But most of all, it takes money and it costs money, and it's risk on the first half of their life and what they built.
You can see all of our accounting and bookkeeping segments at your fingertips. BEOshow.com, or scan the QR code on your screen. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter that we update every week Subscribe to our podcast. It's Business Equity and Opportunities. You can listen to our contributors on your schedule. A bit later, we share a recent visit from the State Fair with a local food truck that has had an exciting year. First, though, how you can become a diversity, equity, and inclusion leader.
Every business is unique, and every business has a target audience. Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble to reach a customer base that spans the globe. Pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. No matter the size of your business, put Circulus Digital Media to work for you and get results. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, running your business day to day.
Running your business day to day includes making sure your diversity, equity, and inclusion policies are on point. Monica Johnson's the Vice President for Diversity Education and Cross-Cultural Engagement for Indiana University. Kind enough to take time out to join us today to talk about a new certification program. Monica, thanks for being with us, and tell us about the work that you're doing.
Thank you for having me. I have been working with Indiana University to create a DEI certification program for leaders across industry who would like to be DEI informed. And when I say DEI informed, I mean they want to be the type of people who can lead organizations that are diverse, work with people from anywhere, any walk of life, any experience, and help those folks to find a sense of belonging within their company, as well as build a company that is prepared to adjust to the needs of an ever-changing world. So this program specifically is for folks who want to be more DEI informed in the way they lead organizations.
We have over the years documented at how this is a bit of a moving target. I understand you've got quite a faculty roster lined up to make sure that you're really at the cutting edge of everything.
Absolutely. We have an amazing group of faculty members for this program. We have folks who are coming from all across the world, all across different identities and backgrounds, who have been working professionally in spaces that are DEI, that are also diverse, that are in human resources, that are in tech, but are going to help those who participate in this program figure out how where they are, the company they're in, the positions they have, can be added to a portfolio that includes diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging.
As a practical matter, certification can do a number of things for a person who acquires one. I mean, frankly, it's a strong thing to be able to show investors or possible customers. From your perspective, and there'll be a nice piece of paper, I'm sure, that's included with this, but what do you want people to do with that? What's your hope that they'll take it and carry forward with?
Absolutely. You know, micro-credentialing, badges, and certificates are now the new thing in people's resumes, on LinkedIn. I want folks to know when they see someone who has come through the Indiana University DEI Leadership Certificate Program, that they are seeing a person who has been challenged to see new and old problems. They've been challenged to think of ways that they enter into the work and ways that they bring other people on board with the work. They're going to be working with a person who has read considerably, who has engaged in critical conversations, and who has been challenged to come up with solutions for today's problems, and not just problems that are reinvented or reimagined, but for today's challenges. So that wonderful certificate that they're going to get that will have Indiana University on it will mean all of those things. They will be able to carry that badge proudly, knowing that they went through a program that was more than just watching a couple videos online, more than just not having to engage or communicate with other people like several other certificate programs for DEI are, but they're going to be in live instructor-led courses. They're going to be working with professionals from across the state, across the country at times, working on improving their leader tool bag.
So if this piques people's curiosity, if they think either personally or professionally this is something I'm really interested, or I'm not sure that I am, I want to know more, how do people reach out? How can they be part of it?
Well, there's a website for that. As always, they can go to deicertification.iu.edu, and you can learn more about our program. You can even see the course schedule, the outline of how much time is going to be required, as well as register, because we are filling up. And we'll link that to beoshow.com as well, so our viewers can jump in either place quickly, find out. You know, businesses are bottom line oriented. Is there a cost associated with this, and if so, what is it? So $2,500, and we are for a very short period of time, and I think I'm willing to do that for folks who find it from this show. If they use the coupon code VIP, they will actually be able to get a discount on that price. So again, $2,500, but for folks who are coming from today, please use that coupon code VIP, it's VIP23. VIP23, yes. And you can get a discount on that price as well.
Well, our business owners know a discount means a lot. So we appreciate your time and that offer and that opportunity. Wish you the best of luck. Will you check with us from time to time? Let us know how things are going.
I certainly will. I love coming back to my friends.
Monica Johnson with Indiana University. Thank you.
Thank you.
To learn more information about IU's DEI Leadership Certification Program, head to beoshow.com. QR code that's on your screen will take you right there. Coming up, our success story, but after the break, it's our industry focus. Now, focus on these messages. Welcome again to Business Equity and Opportunities. Time for our weekly focus on a particular industry through the lens of a small business. It is our industry focus. The Indiana State Fair wrapped up last week. Our friends at Lifestyle Live spent much of the month there and spotted something unusual among the food offerings, setting it apart from the usual pork chops and steaks and chicken on a stick. It's the Blackleaf Vegan Food Truck. Take a look.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
It is Indy's #1 vegan food truck. And Kayla, we are so lucky because we have it right here at the Indiana State Fair. This is Blackleaf Vegan.
Yes, and we are with co-owner here. You own it with your wife, Derek Slack. Nice to meet you.
It was nice for you guys to come by. Thank you for the fair's only and first vegan vendor in the entire 168-year history of the fair.
How does that feel?
Yeah, the big question, how does that feel and how does this happen? Where did this begin?
It feels great. Number one, we have nothing to compare it to. That's number one. So we're doing awesome, or we're doing terribly. But I think the people that come by and sample our food and eat our food, there's a consensus that we have a great product here.
What has the journey been like to be a business owner like this with your wife, starting something like this that people are loving, standing in major lines for too?
Right. I mean, they say don't go into business with family, and they're right. But in our case, we've been able to transcend some of the hurdles that comes with a personal relationship and a business relationship. And it's been great. We grow this. We have our 3 young daughters that help out in the business. So it's been a wonderful journey thus far.
People come to the fair to indulge, treat yourself a little bit, and I think it's lovely that you're allowing vegans to join in on that fun too. You know, they may feel a little left out at the fair sometimes because we've got a lot of meat here, we've got a lot of bad stuff for you. But I'm so excited to see this menu because it looks very similar to what you might see in non-vegan food, but it's vegan.
That's correct. So we've curated this menu specifically for the fair. Everything is 100% vegan. Everything is delicious and tasty, as if, you won't miss the meat that you're searching for, although these are better ingredients for you that come into your system, come into your body. And this is an introduction into vegan food. Vegan food doesn't have to be salads and rabbit food as the perception says. It can be wonderful, delicious, savory dishes that we have. And we not only have this here at the fair, but we also have a location, 335 West 9th Street, at our cafe.
I like how you slipped that in. What are your customers saying? Because I do remember from last year, it was a big line. When they come up here, what do they say? Is it, okay, this is why I'm here, this is what I want?
Far and wide, people that come to our truck, there's a vast majority that say, I'm coming to the fair specifically for you. Because
that's a big deal.
Traditionally, I can't come. We have gluten-free, we have soy-free, we have all animal-free, and also, what's the other one?
Oh, here's the lovely wife right here. And what did you bring for us, lovely lady?
Hello, how are you? Taria.
What is this? This is one of the popular burgers, like mango burger?
Yes, it's a Hoosier burger mango.
Wow. All right,
This was specifically made for this year's fair. The Hoosier burger mango, and is our most popular dish.
Mango is so refreshing.
Right.
It's a little hot out this summer, so I think this is
twist on health.
So I'm gonna say maybe Kayla, you give this a try while I talk to Mr. Derek and
so
ask him a few more questions. Let's talk business, because this really is a family affair too. I mean, setting an example for your children with what you all are doing as co-owners.
Yes, Black Leaf Vegan is just a part of what we want, what we stand for, because we want people to live healthy, wealthier lives, and being debt-free, which we are, being entrepreneurial, which we are, really helps build a legacy. Like when people talk about generational wealth and generational legacy, they usually talk about money. But we want to not only leave money, but we also want to leave a mentality and a culture that you can do things on your own. And we have in our cafe, 335 West 9th Street, you can see on our wall it says,
You did there, Derek.
It says passive inspiration. And that's what we want to do. We want to do our thing, live our lives. We like to travel. We've gone to 37 countries, picking up new vegan cuisines. And we just want to passively, in a way, inspire people to do their own thing, especially undeserved and underserved and undervalued communities like the Black and brown communities. We want to inspire them that you can do this. So for a while there, we were the only vegan food truck. And in subsequent years, there's been many more that come on, and many of those are African American owned.
You are such an inspiration, both of you, for sure. Kayla, I just have a question on how this burger is. Do I get to try the other side?
I gotta leave.
Can I try the other side?
Yes, it is so good, Amber.
Okay,
And
it's
I'm
mango.
not vegan, so I really haven't tried vegan food because I just kind of assumed.
Do I just go right in? Or?
Which is wrong of me to assume, because that is delicious. I don't miss meat at all.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay, that's
Just leave it for later. Leave it for later.
That sauce, Derek, or as AKA as you want us to call him, Handsome Derek. Did you know you want us to call him Handsome Derek? That sauce is amazing.
Well, thank you. I can take credit for the sauce. Everything else is my wife, my lovely wife here.
Look at that.
And then you
She
mix
made
it with
everything.
the
She
tortilla
does the
chip.
food.
Oh, and these are like nice and salty too.
That's the customer service, I do the food.
You guys, this has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
So much.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you.
I know where I'm coming next time I come to the Indiana State Fair.
Gotta try it, guys.
Industry Focus is made possible by Circulus Digital Media.
If you'd like to learn more about the Black Leaf and the food truck, the link is on BEOshow.com. Scan the QR code that's on the left side of your screen. Feel free to share those segments and others with friends, business partners, anyone through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, email. There are buttons right below the video to make it easy. When we return, our success story, so stay with us. Time now to wrap things up with our weekly inspirational, motivational example of the power of perseverance. It's the success story.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Success Story.
Alex Hernandez leads the team at Dirty Detailing LLC, fully equipped mobile car detailing service. Unlike many companies that look to grow and expand business, Alex likes keeping it small.
I started off at a dealership, detailing there, mostly repo cars. And I searched around, mobile detailing. There really wasn't much back in the day, probably like 10 years ago. So I figured, why not start something that's not really heard of around Indy. Sold my car actually to invest into this. It was a big gamble. And unfortunately, thank God it worked out for me. I watched a lot of YouTube videos and it really intrigued me. the befores and afters, and the customers like, wow, like it looks really good. That's something that I thought, I can do myself and make good money at it, and and just the good feeling of it, of making a customer happy about their vehicle when it looks brand new again. Some people have high expectations. I gotta be more realistic, like I can't be a hero and remove every type of stain or stuff like that. So satisfaction, that's the hardest part. Right now it's 3 of us. It's me, my dad, and one of my friends actually. I like it this way. I can control the quality of the work and not worry about taking out such a high volume and just knocking them out. It's just easier for me. I think this is where I'm gonna keep it at. I just want to keep it simple. The problem is when you expand, you have more workers. There's always opportunities where they miss a couple spots here and there, or the customer's not happy with the work. And I think that becomes more of a headache for me than anything else. So I just like to keep it within us 3. And if a customer has any type of complaint, I can handle it right there. Keep it small. Don't go out spending 20, 30 grand on a brand new vehicle, the latest equipment. Just start small, see if you like it, give it about 6 months. If you don't like it, then you're not really out of money, Because that's why I see the most of the failure, that people spend so much money to get into it. A year later, they find out it's not for them, and now they're in debt with the business.
That is today's Business Equity and Opportunities. Thanks to today's storytellers. If you want information about the topics on today's show, find the links on our website. It's beoshow.com. We'll save you some keystrokes. Just scan the QR code that's on your screen. While you're there, look for the past segments from each of our 7 weekly topics. Watch them and download them. Use the buttons underneath them to share them on social media and straight with friends. Please listen to and subscribe to our Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. It's on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Sign up for the newsletter. We update every Tuesday. And if you have questions or your own success story to share, we want to hear it. Send us an email at beo@wishtv.com. We will see you next week for more Business Equity and Opportunities. Until then, I'm Scott Sander. Have a great day.
Business, Equity, and Opportunities is made possible by Indiana Economic Development Corporation, InnoPower, Bose McKinney & Evans, Gemco, Fifth Third Bank, and IU Indianapolis.